Let's see. It would help if it were public. I always do that. All right. Close Twitter. Channel videos like dashboard. All right. So, hey everyone, how's it going? Another level streaming session here, and so this week, this morning actually, I spent a couple hours because I've been kind of procrastinating on this, and I really shouldn't. I put in a little effort. Oh, did I need that open? It wouldn't hurt, I guess. Yeah, I'll have that open. This morning I spent a couple hours trying to do a little investigation as to the AI moving problem, or the AI on a moving platform problem. So what's it? Last I mentioned, which I think was a couple weeks ago, I thought that there was a way to do sort of a hack workaround using these things called AAS obstacles. AAS being short for Area Awareness System. Yeah. And basically my idea was, the ship was going to, in the context of the canal, it was going to, move over a little and then move down a bit and then move over a little and then move down a bit. So basically my idea was to have, instead of having, the AI basically recalculate pathing on the surface of the ship, like every frame or something like that, which A, it doesn't seem like the engine can do anyways, and B, that would probably be very expensive. Instead of that, I was thinking sort of having... Yes, nice. um, sort of planes like this, that the ship could, that the ship could basically like move at the same height of, and then you would have like, oh come on, clearly I'm a little rusty. And then you could have the ship like move down to this height and then move along this height, and you could basically like deactivate this one and activate this one, so that you could still get kind of an approximation of what the AI is able to do, or like the AI being able to move around on the surface of the ship. And I've been doing a little investigation into that. It still appears that this is not going to work for a particular reason, and let me show you. I'm not sure if I've shown this test map. Basically, I was initially trying to get this AI patrolling on here, and this is set up to be a moving platform. But the thing is that, you know, he wasn't moving, so I was like, okay, well, let's step back and like try to get him moving on the surface of this thing, and then we can kind of like progress from there. And he wasn't able to do that either. So if I show you, and I think this should be up to date if I just go to map. Yep, okay. So if you recall, there was a green brush here, right here, called AAS solid. Clearly he is walking on that. And basically that means that there was this yellow brush here that was AAS obstacle, like right in the middle. So basically he can't walk through that block that was there, which is not rendering right now. But I have set it up so that this little block has a button, and if I hit it, that's going to switch off the AAS obstacle, and now he can just walk around in a circuit there. So now if I hit the button again, the AAS obstacle is back to being active. So now he can no longer walk through there again. So if I go back in here, so the AAS obstacle clearly is working as a wall, and this is, you know, an AAS solid, and it's basically just a world spawn thing. Weirdly enough, we were seeing there that it was the bottom plane here, like the bottom surface, that was sort of his walk height, which is interesting. But instead, if I apply the obstacle texture to that, and I make it into a func AAS obstacle, and we have that start on the way that this is, then we're going to run into a problem. So he can't walk on that AAS obstacle, even though it is active. So if I hit the button here again, now you can walk through. If I hit it again, he can't anymore. So this is the strange thing. It seems that yeah, I don't know. It's weird because the AAS obstacle doesn't seem to be able to generate floors, whereas it can work perfectly fine as walls, and it toggles properly when you're calling it in the script. So, actually, there's something occurred to me in the beginning here. Let me try one last thing. Oh, and I guess just for fun, this is the level script for this particular map that I've got going. Yeah. Yeah, so you can see through. This is like id Tech 4's weird proprietary scripting language. You get system, you're calling it like the system object, and it's just telling you like, or like this is outputting to the console just to be like, hey, this is happening. Here's like an example of a function. If you're moving the platform and you're trying to move it to a specific set of coordinates here, this is how it handles a, or this is what it looks like when you're passing it a vector 3. If you've not worked in like 3D game engines before, like a vector 3 is basically just like a coordinate in 3 dimensions. So on here, it's kind of interesting. Well, first off, a weird quirk of this scripting language is that for anything that is not system, the system object, if you want to access that object in the level, you have to use a $sign in front of it. It is a very, very weird syntactic choice. Also, the thing is that all these commands have to be called relative to an object. Like, there's no, I guess you could say, like, static methods or something like that. I mean, you can, like, call, well, I think you can call the functions between here that you specify in this file separate from an object, if I recall correctly. But most of them are just relative to some sort of object in the map or the system itself. So yes, one last thing I want to try that just occurred to me as I was talking a few minutes ago. Yes, reading up on it, there are some areas that are people have mentioned that, like, if there's remote areas in your map that don't like connect with other areas that don't have AI in them at the start of the map, they won't necessarily generate pathfinding. So if I don't know how one uses this. Oh, hey Sam, how you doing? Let me look. Oh, and this is also confusing because it doesn't seem like it's like generating a floor with AAS obstacle, and yet in this there's this pretty nice and in-depth article on the Dark Mod wiki that's all about making a multi-floor elevator. Oh, it says it's outdated though. Well, great. But in here, it explicitly says that you're trying to make the little floors for your AI to stop at Func AAS obstacle entities. And that doesn't seem to be bearing out in the test map. So, I don't know. I'm a little confused. Let me look up, because I saw something called the flood entities. God dang. Entity database. Is that it? Oh, hey, Sean. A great number of my friends ended up going to Madison, Wisconsin for a little thing called Shrek Fest this weekend. And that happened yesterday. So I was planning on going before I got laid off, and now I just absolutely do not have the money to do that. I will say that one of the guys involved, Isaac, who you might know from his channel Draz Games, he was trying to fundraise, but basically it ended up just being him trying to offer me like $300 or so, and I'm like, I'm flattered, but can we get a call and be on stream for Madison? Hey, you know what? I'm boring as shit, so sure. So yeah, I was honored that Draz would try to lend me that money, but I did not feel comfortable taking that much money from one person for a very frivolous trip, especially because he's also going through his own financial situations now. And I'm just like, absolutely not. Lol. I have to open this up real quick. Oh boy. All right, here we go.
Oh, yes.
We might need to go somewhere like.
Yeah, we need to go somewhere quiet. Let's go into an alley. Yeah, let's go somewhere where it's a bit quieter.
Okay.
Yo, what's up?
Not much. I didn't think that I would get our Shrekfest
What?
correspondence.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
We're hanging out in the Bank of Montreal.
Aw, disappointing.
Bank of Montreal.
We can't totally hear you yet. Hang on.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna have to like try really hard to hear you, but
Yeah,
like.
Jared, can you hear us?
Oh yeah.
Oh yay!
Yeah.
Are we on your stream right now?
Yes.
Hi everybody, this is the Jared stream. Today we'll be making a level about Shrek. What is that level gonna be? Probably green. And then we're gonna have 24 bun-length wieners.
Oh jeez.
When I showed up at the hotel, like I just walk in and Dennis like, you want a bun length wiener? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then he opens the fridge and he has a 24 pack of hot dogs, and they
Yes.
don't say hot dogs on the label. They just say bun length wieners.
And let me tell you, we had 48 buns of the appropriate length to fit those wieners.
Delightful.
Oh my goodness.
See, Jared, you ended up making it out here anyway.
It worked out.
In spirit.
Some sort of form, yeah.
Yeah. So
All
what are you
right.
talking about on your stream?
How I'm
The level. That he's building.
yeah, how dumb I am for not properly researching a particular feature that I needed for this map to work the way it's supposed to.
Is it a different hiccup than when I was last in the stream?
When were you last on the stream? Or
I was on the stream when you were trying to figure out, like, basically because you wanted the boat to move.
yeah, no, that's the same
Yeah.
thing.
Okay. Like you had just figured out how to move the enemies like from the different like levels of the boat.
Oh
And then you're
right.
like, but wait, now this boat has to move.
No, you're right. Yeah. I remember that now. I was trying to remember who that was, and for some reason I thought it was Nico for some reason. But no, you're right. It was you.
Yeah, he might have been in some other stream.
No, I actually listened to the new Writing on Games cast, and at the end he explicitly said he had not watched my streams yet, but that he meant to.
Was there a new one that came out recently?
Yeah, yesterday?
Oh shit. Oh, hang on, John's calling me. So,
Yeah. Well, you know,
Wait, why am I holding it?
because you're in charge here, man.
Jared, you know what? Okay, this is gonna blow your mind. By the way, is this video on your stream or are we just like audio?
You are audio on, well, the video's on my second monitor, but I'm only streaming on the first.
Okay.
Do you want me to pull over the video?
Pull it over for a second. This is gonna blow your mind.
Oh my god. Okay.
Tell me when you're ready.
Hang on. Okay, buddy.
Okay. This behind us, that's the capital of Wisconsin, and I'm just gonna do a 180 turn, and that is a Bank of Montreal.
Okay.
This is fucking crazy, dude.
John's group's on the way, so we'll see. Kevin was in that group, right?
Kevin is on his way, Jared.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, when you're like close trying to hear him, like all he sees is just like your
Just
sideburn in
sideburn.
your ear.
I'm glad.
I'm getting that sweet neck hair.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Here you. I don't know how to do this properly because his voice is coming out of here. You.
All right.
It's your phone.
Hi, Jared.
Hey, Sean.
Yo, you ever been to Madison, Wisconsin during Taste of Madison?
No. Well, I've never been to Wisconsin.
These people are here for.
Yeah, all these people are leftovers from Shrekfest now doing Taste of Madison, but
Clearly.
Dude, there's a half a watermelon.
Is there a lot of onion there?
dude,
Are you gonna? Don't eat that next to the melon.
we're getting a watermelon.
It smells like weed here.
It
Oh,
really
nice.
smells like weed
This
here.
is the weed spot, apparently.
I don't see anybody smoking anything though.
No, I'm
So I don't know
sure
where
it's just
that's coming
leftover.
from.
Like it was like people who cook like giant rib and then like.
I think I left the American flag John gave me in your car.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dang.
no, it's in the.
All right.
Yeah, John gave Dennis over here a big ass American flag with the peace sign made
Yeah.
from the stars.
It's really great.
And the quote was like, "You may be an honorary Mexican, but you're now an honorary American."
Now you're a real North American man. You've got it all covered.
So Jared, what is your inspiration for this Shrek themed level?
I feel like there was a scene in one of the Shrek movies where they were like in a barrel or something, or they were going like down
Yeah.
a river on a raft or something.
Yeah. Donkey stands on a barrel and he rolls it around and crushes a bunch of guards.
Oh, well, maybe that was it.
That's in the first movie.
That's in the first one. We watched it yesterday.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like there was like a scene with a water wheel or something in like the second one.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
What?
A water wheel.
that might have been in Shrek 2.
That was Shrek 2.
Yeah, that was Shrek 2.
Ah, I see.
It's a motif of Donkey running
No,
shit over.
It's not a Shrek or Shrek 2 themed level. It's a Shrek series themed level.
Yeah.
So it's like you start out and you're going through Shrek 1, like rescuing Fiona and all that. And then Shrek 2, you go to Far, Far Away and all that, right? And then Shrek the third is, you know, like, you know, I mean, you have to hit your deadline, you know, like, you know, that was when, like, that was when the rush happened, you know, that kind of thing. So you hit Shrek third section. It's not as good. But, you know, it's all right. Because then you get the redemption in Shrek Forever After part of the level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be like a rhythm game level?
No.
No.
You like shoot the gun in time with like the song in the background.
Is it gonna be a rhythm
Oh.
game level now?
No.
Hello, Kevin.
Oh,
Yeah.
you gotta hide a Shrek in there somewhere.
We were at Martin Luther King, and Martin Luther King and walking up. You'll find
Like in
BMO.
Doom, where they put like the developer is like in like behind a waterfall or something. Do it with Shrek.
Yeah. So if you look at
Oh.
the Capitol building and you walk left down the street, eventually you will pass a BMO watermelon. They would.
Dude, this live band just started and they are tearing it up.
Okay. All right. Have you passed it though?
I can't hear him.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
gotten
They're
to a
talking on
point
the
now.
phone. I see.
Since the band's playing now, we really can't hear you at all.
We
Oh,
gotta
dang.
wait for like everyone else to
But-
show up. We gotta get like that Jared cameo, that you know that Jared King K conversation, that Kevin King
Yeah.
King K Jared.
Sorry, we've ruined your.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're your interview for today, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's it like working as a game designer in the industry?
Yeah.
Well, we're designing this thing. We're not designing a game right now. We're designing an experience called EssayCon, which happens right as Shrekfest ends. And what happens is we'll just set up a stage, and then we'll just start doing panels all night.
Nice.
Yeah. We met a game developer.
Oh.
Yeah, we met some guy, and he told us about his game.
He said he was gonna send us all Steam keys.
I think he already sent a Steam code to Cherry Rider.
All right. Well, he's the one that deserves it most.
Yeah.
Do you know?
He's making like a roguelike Metroidvania where you play as a robot or
What's
something.
it called? Something.
A robot named Fight.
Yeah.
A robot named Fight. That's the game. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
The next video you make should be about that.
Yeah.
Is he hiring?
Is he hiring? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Oh, we should.
It seems like he was kind of a one-man show.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Dude, we should have.
Because I said we have a friend. I did mention we had a friend that's a level designer, but we didn't like get to the
Fuck,
next
you know
step.
what? I know why we didn't tell him that.
Why?
Because we're terrible friends.
Damn. You're right. Well, you know what? We're gonna send your application out to all the Madison, Wisconsin developers, and you're moving to Madison, baby. You're getting hired.
Oh, nice. All three of them.
All three of them, he says.
Yeah.
No, seriously. I think Raven Software is
Good,
in
you'll get hired, all
Madison,
three of them. You'll have
if I
three jobs.
recall.
Wait,
Which one?
Raven Software,
There you go.
sure.
as well as
Ready given.
I think
Given Wraith Heaven,
Vaporware?
no,
Vaporwave software.
as well as there was like an offshoot of the PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds corporation in Madison as well. I think.
There's an offshoot of the PUBG guys.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, one of my buddies ended up working there. So
Yeah. So we're gonna get you hired to work on PUBG.
hey, it sounds good.
We'll shill every single person at Taste of Madison until we find a game developer. We'll just ask them if they'd ever heard of King K, and then they'll know.
Well, sure.
Oh, Jared, you need to check Twitter to like something that like basically everyone retweeted because someone said that Dan looks like edgy Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3, so we just recreated that shot.
Oh, I saw
in
that.
full. Yeah.
Oh, you saw it already?
Yeah.
I didn't see the retweet.
Oh, jeez. Well, excuse me. Oh my god.
Oh, we got him.
We got him! All right, put your video on.
My video.
We're in Jared's live. We're on the other side. 'Cause that's where
All right, I'm gonna pull this up.
There they are.
we're
I'll move this over to.
we're in Jared's level.
Are we? Is this live on the?
Yeah, this is live.
Absolutely.
Really get up close to it. Jared,
going?
Pretty okay. Yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. We're gonna get some cheese curd. What do you recommend to eat?
Yeah.
I know you're not from here. Just what would you eat if you were us?
I would probably go for some cheddar ale soup. I know that's a big thing in Madison, Wisconsin.
Cheddar what soup?
Cheddar ale soup.
Cheddar ale soup.
Oh, snap.
Okay, we're gonna follow up on that recommendation.
Damn, there you go, Jared. You just got a shout out from Bobby Broccoli himself.
I'm so flattered.
Dude,
King K killed a man this weekend.
Yeah, he murdered
King K killed a man this weekend.
Oh, wow.
yeah, did you see the part where King K smacked the shit out of that dude?
I saw the still photo. I don't know the context.
Oh,
We have the video.
there's a video of it on there somewhere.
Oh, my
The
God.
story behind that is that dude is like the runner-up every year for the watermelon eating contest, but it was like, or the onion eating contest. I'm just saying a watermelon. The onion eating contest, and like, it was like what, like 4? It was like 4 p.m. and he was already completely just gone. So it was like literally just he was literally just slap me as hard as you can.
Wow.
So Dan
Oh my God.
obliged.
Dan smacked the ever-living shit out of him.
Oh my
It's
God.
fucking wild.
Did Dan eat an onion?
Dan did not eat an onion.
I'm disappointed.
It was like the onion eating contest was like over before it started. Like it was so fast. Like before I even realized it was beginning, it was like halfway over. So I don't know, man. I wanted to. Dennis and I were gonna eat an onion.
I didn't when they even got people in.
Yeah, neither do I. We're still waiting on Zach
Oh, nice.
Hales.
Oh, yeah, Taylor's with you, right?
Yeah, he is.
Nice.
But I don't know where the fuck Zach and Taylor, Cass, and John are.
All right, well, I'm gonna see if I can get some work done.
All right, that's fair. Thanks for letting us onto your stream to ruin it.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Thank you for being the Playing Field's official Shrekfest correspondents.
Yeah, this is live from Shrekfest. Well, the day after Shrekfest.
Taste of Madison.
Taste of Madison 2019.
Parked pretty far away.
Yeah, we'll see you around, Jared.
We'll do.
All right, see ya.
Bye. All right. Sorry about that. While that was happening, I was looking up the. No, that's not what I wanted. I was looking up the AAS 32 flood entity, and I don't know if this is going to do anything. It is also extremely vague as to how it works. It just says if an AAS 32 creature doesn't have AAS for him in an area, he will be in, but isn't spawned in, places entity in that area to flood AAS into that area. Which basically means, like, if there's no AI in an area and pathfinding isn't generated there, putting that entity in that area will generate pathfinding, but it's very vague as to how you get it to do that. So, yeah. So it's at least in the brush there. So let me just try this. What am I doing? Nope. Nuh-uh. So I think there was also something that mentioned. It's like the max step height for AI is supposed to be 16 units high. But this is actually 32. But the thing is that I said that was still working with you know, the AAS solid. So all right, last thing, and then I'll switch over to the actual map, I swear. And no. Okay. Alright. Well, basically, that was further investigation. And I had been procrastinating on this as well, but I hadn't actually posted a question. Post a question? Dang. I hadn't actually made a post in the Dark Mod forums trying to ask for help on this particular issue. And right before the stream, I just did that. Basically recounting what I just went over with, minus the Shrekfest discourse. So, all right. So last week we did quite a few revisions here. I feel like this is a little better. I'm very uncertain as to this space under the stairs here. It just feels like a place like the player could get themselves caught in and pincered by AI, but yeah. But I do feel a little better about this, especially because this now actually feels like a better size for an office. Got a nice little walkway here. And yeah, so I guess we're gonna actually go into building C, which I entitled last week's session. Yeah. Even though I didn't actually end up getting to it. All right, so. What the hell is Shrekfest? Shrekfest is an event that this weird YouTube comedy channel, I forget the name. Basically, it was this YouTube sketch comics. They actually started throwing a festival surrounding Shrek called Shrekfest, and I don't know, a bunch of my friends wanted to go there because it seemed funny. So yeah, that's about it. A realistic and immersive level demo. Indeed. All right. To do the stuff. All right. So, what's it? this is also going to be obnoxious with all the portals here. Yeah, so let me switch over to, excuse me, lighting preview. I marked my diagram over here to deal, say that these surfaces were going to be wood. But I'm not sure about that because we are dealing with water here, or like a container that is supposed to be holding water, and so I don't necessarily think that's the like fitting. Actually, these three they have the same depth and height, I think. So I think I'm gonna actually simplify this and stretch this out so we can have one brush instead of three. Oh, well. Hey, nice. Yeah, so I don't know. We could do this a couple different ways. We could just keep it as is. Wouldn't look good, but you know, it's viable. Or if we wanted to go with wood, we could make it solid wood blocks, but I don't think that would work necessarily. Or alternatively, perhaps we could sort of raise this up to be kind of thin and make it wood, and then we kind of have like a stone basin kind of underneath. Although I don't know. I guess that excuse me. I guess if we were to make this wood like that, or maybe that, that setting these walkways to be metal and just having that transition to a different material, I'm not sure that actually makes sense, you know? Well, maybe if I just made these ends wood, and then the center walkways are like made out of metal. Yeah, I think that's a little better. If we are also doing sort of raised, almost dock-like structure, then we can kind of just unify this whole side into one big mesh, or one big brush. Oh, of course. Actually, yeah, if I just stretch that to the end there. Is there anything poking out from under there? No. Minus the Z fighting here, it looks alright. So, stretch out that water. And yeah, looks good. Switch that out there, and oh, whoops, forgot that one. Ugh, I swear, I've been doing a little work in Unreal 4 on Albino Lullaby, and just every time you go back to a different editor that actually has like good conventions in terms of your controls, it is such a shock, really, to come back to this particular editor. Because it just does not make sense. A lot of the key bindings that they set up. Oh, and this is just one giant stone block, huh? Well, I can just put a func static over that, or over this particular segment of it. Yep. I was joking about. Oh, that's what the. Oh, I thought you were talking about like the test map. That's all right. And I think all of this stuff under here could just be made func static. Actually, it should be. Revert to world spawn. Make func static, and good. All right. This whole thing is one giant object. It's great. Getting into a little Seinfeld there, I don't know why. If I pull this up, if I pull the bottom up here, I think it's going to be fine. Or yep. if I also pulled this up, it should be fine there, and then, oh, actually, pull that in here. Yeah, basically also I want this dock to basically hide this seam right here, but unfortunately that is actually at the very bottom of this room. I don't know, I feel like I could cover it up. This is also like way more small detail work, so I don't think it's terribly important right now. No, that's not what I want. Is this exposed to the outside? No. Okay. Whoops. Wooden stairs there. Yep. Now the whole inside here is gonna be wood, although this is actually the block that. Great. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get another brush to basically cover this up. I mean, that's all right. You know what? What strange differences in texture tiling size. Let's see, this isn't. Okay, no, good. Oh, I see. All right, I'll split that up. Okay. In here. Oh, actually, that is relevant right now. Yeah, so in the interior here, we want wood, and in the exterior, we want the cobblestones. So I will do another little 1 unit brush on top of there. Ooh. Looks good there. Any gaps? I don't think so. Actually, I don't think I need this if I. Well, let's just double check. Yeah. If I just assign this to have the cobblestone texture. And then I have only this portion covered, then that's fine. Func static. this thing. I'm really not a fan of the shape of this room anymore. It is weird and arbitrary, and yeah. It does not make sense. What I really wanted to go for here was this same thing I was doing on this building, and oh my lord. Ugh, glad I found that. See, fighting there, Jesus Christ. We'll fix that later. What I really wanted to go for, because I thought this would be interesting, is having like this sort of promenade along the water and alongside the ship, but I really wanted there to be like these structures that were kind of reaching out over the walkable space, not just to provide shadow, but just because I thought like that feeling of like you're walking along and you're in an outdoor space, and then all of a sudden it feels very like interior as opposed to exterior. I don't know. I think it's just cool, but they don't look very good. You know. So, same with this building way over here. Oh, I forgot a couple things. Forgot a couple stairs to delete. But there's really no reason for this to be the way it is, you know? Basically, the way this is also working is that if we go back to lit preview, this is the big machine that is supposed to be powering the pumps in for the canal. Basically, I wanted like a couple of gears nearby to be able to have the player like jam them with a wrench or something to make that stop. And then I was like, okay, well, clearly I need like a wrench somewhere, and that would imply that there's a tool room, and so or like a hardware room, and so this was kind of already the shape it was, and I was just like, oh, I'll just put it up there. But fictionally, if you're lugging heavy tools up and down a staircase, that's not terribly efficient, is it? So yeah, I think it looks weird. I also don't know why there's another pool in here, and I don't know why it's a non-rectangular or non-circular shape. My God. So, yeah, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna lop this off basically. And then we will deal with the shape that comes as a result. And what is this? It's like two separate. I mean, all right. Oh, huh. I guess this must have always been sticking out. Then I'm just going to need oh dear. All right. What would I do here to make this not look weird? Like this, maybe? I don't know. Nah, I don't know. Wait, hey. So what do we have here as a result? Okay. Who's trying to tag me? Ow. My buddy, Heavy Eyed, just put up a new video apparently. I can't wait to look at that one because the concept of it is one he's been talking about for a while. It seems really interesting. So, God, what do we do here? Okay, I have an idea. So I think instead of that, we could have, I mean, clearly, first thing I want the player to see when they enter this area is they're going to be coming around here, and then they're going to go through here, and like this space, and this like recessed area is what they're going to encounter first, or like that's just what their eyes are going to be drawn towards. So I think having something there makes sense. And so I think having the tool room in the back there also, they're opposite corners, utilizes the space. So I think I'll be building it there, but then I want stuff in the middle here for the player to hide in and for the AI to sort of weave around. And so what I think is that I want like a couple of circular or cylindrical vats that are actually like above ground. Well, maybe they could be kind of like half and half, like half recessed. But basically I also want them at a height where the player can hide alongside them, but they aren't going to be blocking the view of this tool room over here. Yeah. I also think that, I don't know, maybe having a raised tool room here is okay, but I would definitely want like a wide and very like low grade ramp to sort of come over here and wrap around, and then that might be okay, or maybe there's like overlooks and offices here, and then there's like vats here, and like this path around here is like harder to get through. But if the player like kind of goes over here, there might be like a ladder or something up in the back corner there. Yeah. Okay. I'm feeling a little better. Feeling slightly better about this. Actually, no, I still want that down there to make room for circular vats to be inset into the ground. But I definitely think they should be getting a little more space. Something like this. Pardon me? Oh, no. Hmm. Brush. Uh-oh. Hmm. What am I gonna do here? Oh, split to 2. I'm not sure this needs to be split into 2. I think I might just lower that. Okay. All right. Now I've not really used strange primitives for brushes. So let's let's experiment on air for the first time. I saw some fancy stuff that some people were doing in Trench Broom, which is the Quake editor. Oh, and just for reference, I want to just quickly move the player start here. And yep, that's tall enough. So if I were to say move this here, move this here-ish, that is not a terribly wide gap between those, but from here, yeah, this will be perfectly fine. Oh, hey, how you doing? Okay, so let's try this for the first time. Prism. What is it? Okay. Let's go 8. Oh, nice, nice, nice. That is exactly what I want. Let's go 16. Brilliant. And now what happens if I make hollow? Oh my god. Look at that. Wait, hang on. Ah, yeah. Perfect. Then I can move this up. Move these up. I feel like I'm gonna have to really reduce these, or because I've got some overlap. Well, actually, let me lower those a couple. Yeah, they're the same height. Well, first I should actually. What are these? Let's make that static, because Lord knows we do not want that cutting up our viz tree. And then we'll do this again. Prism. Then no draw that, except for the top. Make that water. And we will make that into, if my right mouse button will cooperate, into a funk liquid. Use dark mod or dark mod water under liquids. Yay. And let's just copy that. Move that over there. Boom. I feel like though we want enough room for the player and AI to move through here. How wide is this? 64. So it's like 2 player widths. And how about here? Yeah. a little over. Well, this is 32 by 32, so that is I think that's like times the square root of 2, if I'm remembering basic trig. Certainly is greater than a player width, and there's a little room here and there as well. I'm just not entirely sure if that's going to be enough. So the player comes in through here, kind of viewing stuff from this angle. I mean, they're definitely not going to be able to see like the back corner here, like very low down towards the floor. I mean, I think we can live with that. All right. Oh, and yes. Pull this out so we don't have leaks at the very least. Now as for all of this on the outside. Oh, you know what? We could probably do a constructed solid geometry thing here. That is absolutely not what I wanted. Nothing happened there. I think you need to select that first. No. And then if I just do this again. Yeah, no, that's not what I want. Alright, well. What's it? There's a clipper tool here. No, that didn't do anything. looks good. Oh, nice. And that is almost perfectly flush there. So that's like almost good. It's just the tiniest bit of overlap here, which means the tiniest bit of Z fighting. I think we'll be fine, but then I think if I just rotate this, no. Come on. Okay, so copy that. I rotate that 90 degrees. And I just move it into here. Yes. All right. Now I take this, rotate it 180. There we are. And now just gotta copy this. Now gotta make this all one func static, and I will probably do the bit in the middle as well. So func static, nice. All right. That looks. Oh. Oh, I see. Yep, looks good. Now for the space up here. All right. Actually, for these, I want to get some sort of metal texture. Old copper. That might be cool. Great. No, not great. Plate rivets. Huh. Metal plate rivets. They all look the same, but it's a bit ridiculous, but looks okay. It looks, you know, not okay, but it looks like appropriate, you know. Bars, rivets, iron. Oh, actually, maybe. No, but. Oh, there we are. That's better. Obviously, we're going to shrink down the scale once we start trying to make this look good. And as for this, I think we're going to, well, maybe not the very entry, but and then I think I want this to be like 128 tall. For there to be a gap of 128 units here. So it's actually like 2 player heights. There we are. Yeah, it looks about right. Oh, maybe we could have a little lift or an elevator for like fictionalizing heavier equipment moving. That might be neat. Oh, come on. How far out is this? 48. That's a little narrow. So we what, 16? And here, 144, which means that it's 128 out, probably, right? Sure, so let's try and make this 128 square. This will sort of be a landing in the middle. And yeah, I think that's enough space. All right, so between the tops of those two surfaces is 72. units. So if I move this up by 36, which would be 9, 7, 8, 9, then these two ramps should go up by the same height. I don't think they're the same distance, so it's not going to be exactly the same slope, but it is pretty low and forgiving, I think. Pardon me. And yeah, then we just move this over to be like steel grating or something. Yeah. I like how I started this session being like, I don't like this structure. It's weird that there's a tool room that's kind of elevated in here, and then I ended up with an elevated tool room, and yet I still feel better about it. I mean, it is mostly that outside structure that was kind of dangling over. I was just like, I don't think this is good. I saw a little pink here, I think. Was there some sort of... Yeah. Here-ish? Or is that just the editor messing up? Well, actually, we don't even really need that. No, actually we do. Whoops. They're different depths here. All right. So I might as well make this consistent while we're here. This is also... No, that's func static. Okay. Carry on. Nice. All right. Oh, nice. Okay. All right. here, I'm gonna make an opening for a ladder in the back there. Whoops. Gonna do that. That is 40. So, I don't know. So what's this gap? 352. So if I subtract 96 from that, calculator. 352 minus 96, and then that'll be divided into 4, so each opening will be 64 units wide. So that works. Actually, I can just copy these two and punch holes there. Basically, if we look over here, dang, we got windows. All right. And then lastly over here, although I will want to, these do not quite hit the back corner here, so oh, I see. I did not select these edges. Nice. Okay. No, that's fine. It's tough to see. Trying to view from this angle, but there we are. Got ourselves a structure that feels a little better. Come on. Oh, geez. Come on. All right. Okay, so basically right below all of these vertical supports, subdividing the windows. I want to put little blocks that kind of look at like support beams. Although, it's definitely going to block a read of the ladder back there. So I think instead having that sort of broken pattern there, and this will kind of look like an opening here. I think that's better. And then, actually, let me undo that. I'm going to put one right there in the corner. And then I'm probably going to 264. So it's about here to halfway. Yeah, I think so. Okay. And then I would imagine having supports on the opposite side along the wall would also be of a great help. So it looks a little better, a little more plausible. And there we are. Okay, so huh? Oh, I see. I think sports are along here. Clearly, we're gonna have to move this from outside the vat, or to outside the vat, and I think we're pretty okay there. And then I think I'm fine keeping this floor here as stone. Oh right, and I need to make all these supports not world spawn. All right. Gone for 2 hours. All right. Let's finish strong. Okay, so from this point, I think I'm gonna go back here and start putting in lights. Yeah. Alright, so there's one here. Ish. Although these two are overlapping, which is you know, a performance concern. Oh, dang. I didn't really plan for too many lights to be in here. I should probably fix that. What am I using for... Yeah, these electric things. Do I want this here necessarily, or maybe on this wall? Also got to think if I want if I want any lights in this room, because it's sort of the entry. I think I'll go with going on this wall for now. No. Maybe just a little closer to the door. You know what I'm thinking? I think it'd be more interesting if we kind of had this landing area a bit more segmented off. So to heighten that feeling of division, I'm gonna move this over here and have that line up. It's this. What's the lighting preview? Yeah, something like that. Here and here is what I'm looking for. Yeah. Awesome. And then All right. Then we simply gotta. Well, I'm gonna move this back a bit. I'm gonna copy this there, stretch it out, and boom, we got ourselves a room. I might have like a quote unquote drop ceiling, not like an actual one, but I think I want like a flat ceiling here, just so we can get some like height variation in the rooms and make them feel a little more different from each other. Yeah. Oh, I see. Ooh. So if you come in here, this is probably going to bleed a lot, and I don't like that. Come in here. This is sort of going to be the safer path along here. I still want there to be light so that the player can actually see what the hell they're doing. I am uncertain as to what form this light will take. As in, like, you know, is it going to be ceiling mounted? Well, I don't think it's ceiling mounted, but I don't necessarily want something that's just mounted on the wall like everything else. I want to vary it up a little bit. Non-extinguishable, not street lamps. Wow. I can't tell what that looks like. So that's not helpful. A buoy light? No. Oh yeah, a chandelier. No. Oh, a grill light. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I think this will be good. Industrial ceiling light. No, we're already using that. Yeah, let's go with the. Also, what's the indicator light? It's very small. I'm very okay with this. here. And both of these are gonna get a point light. Which is gonna be kind of red. Yeah, I think that looks fine. I'm gonna say don't cast shadows on these. These are not gonna be terribly large. How high up are these from the floor? They're about 84 units, which is maybe a little high, but eight. Actually, if it doesn't cast shadows, then does that mean it's just gonna bleed out to here? Well, I don't know. Doesn't look catastrophic. And we can always just move this in. Yeah, that's all right. That's pretty good. Something else, and I forget what setting, or what the setting is named. There, someone was talking about lighting on the Dark Mud forms like years ago, in a not terribly concrete and helpful way, but they were talking about, and they had mentioned that there was a specific specific setting that you could put on lights to have them not actually affect the player's light gem or light level. So that'll be interesting to experiment with later on. I don't want to use that a lot, but you know. 2 hours, 20 minutes. Okay, so. And obviously we're going to need something here. definitely want lights shining basically on top of the water just to make clear that it's water. Or I might be interested in, like having a little fake light there that's blue. So that might be a case where I don't want it like affecting the player's light levels. But other than that, I think that having an overhead light here would be a good idea. Wow, look at that already. Oh, no, that's not what I want. Oh, is it not gonna let me do that? It's an edge. Or no, it's gonna be vertex, I think. All right, look at that. I'll just do that again on this. Nice. Interestingly enough, the lights do not overlap. Oh, whoops. Well, they certainly will that way. There's actually a gap here. Gap here of about 32 units, so I think I will. Oh, there's a U-Haul outside. Oh yeah. This weekend, sort of. All right, it's for Vertex, right? Yeah. 1, 2, bump that out. Then. last year for moving. That was just a nightmare. I had to go to Worcester to get a moving van, and then by the time I got there, you know, they claimed that they told me that it was already gone, but I hadn't gotten the email yet, or rather that they wouldn't be able to provide me one on that day. And so basically I had to call my dad to come down from New Hampshire with a yeah, with a moving van, and he had to return that thing the next morning at like 5 a.m. So he couldn't even like stay in the city or get a night's sleep, which I feel really bad about. So I'm very glad that this year I do not have to do that. Thank Christ. Okay, maybe back over one more. All right. And that hits the floor there? No, not quite. All right. Maybe move that down a little. So we get a bit of a hot spot there. And yeah, looks good. I'm also partial. I think I want to put another light here-ish so you can actually see what's in the corner. There's some overlap there. I think it's all right. All right. Now, we get his time. Well, first off, I think there are some things I want to add here. There was some sort of machinery. Coolant tank, maybe? Oh. Why, yes, I think so. Well, I don't know. It's a tad large. Basically, when I was making this diagram for building 3, I tried to pre-measure some of the models that were available, and so that's how I was able to fit that steam engine in pretty nice. And I remember that there were some things that were going to be 64 by 64, or thereabouts, but I don't quite remember what those models were. And this is about 80 by 80, so it's close, but you know, not quite there. I think if I tuck this in here, that'll be okay. I'm basically going to use that as a spacer, actually. And I'll actually move this in a bit. There we're good. And now I'm going to surround these with monster clip. Oh, that's yeah, it's pretty extreme. less cramped for our guard. What's this guy's patrol path? First off, I want to right. And instead of that, it's gonna have no target right now. Oh, and we will definitely need monster clip on that. This down. Oh, and right, because all of this is funk static. We're gonna need a lot of monster clip here, so. looks good. So now that that's done, create entity. Paths, path corner. It's gonna be one right about here. Then it will be paired with a weight. Come on. Path weight. Alright, path corner 9. Let's go to 10. Oh, whoops. Let's go to 11. 12. 13. 14. And then weight 12. And then corner 15, right? Yep. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, I think path weight, what would be 16? No. 13? Was that? Yeah. Okay. So, I think we're going to test that real quick and then call it a day. Damp. No. All right. Oh, yes, I should pull the blinds. We got a no clip. Oh, there's some Z fighting.
Is that something over there?
Oh, whoops.
Come on, you cock-brained son of a whore. I'm gonna gut you slow when I find you. Come on, you cock-brained whore.
Well, that's what happens when you mess up.
I'll have your guts for my bootstraps.
Something else I was thinking about, maybe having, because like, for the fiction here to work, you kind of need like pipes for this to
Come on, you
be
cock-brained
pumping
son of a
water in and
whore.
out of this reservoir here. So I thought it might be kind of cool if we have, oh god. What are you doing?
I'll have your
Jesus. No clip and no target. Yeah, so I was thinking of having like maybe some pipes that the player could like actually walk into, and that could lead to other areas or provide more like interesting secret paths around the level. For not having them fall off, I think we can just have like some monster clip around the edges here that's like maybe like 32 units high or something like that, because they're not supposed to be able to step over 16. Okay.
4 dogs at once. That was a good fight.
Oh, he's waiting there? That's weird. Yeah, I know I got the node
What a
order wrong.
bugger.
Oh, look at that. Now let's look over here. Hey. Looking pretty nice. Let me just fix a couple things first. First off, that. Don't need that. We're good. Second, that was 9. It's gonna target path corner 9. Instead, this will target path weight 13. Then this will target path corner 10. Okay. Oh, and this also does not need to stretch that far down, because then we get Z fighting here. Other than that, I think let me do this actually. Because I know I'm gonna forget otherwise. Here, yep. And hopefully that'll be enough to prevent them Well, I should probably do this as well. No. Well, oh, actually, we don't need it up against that wall, do we? All right. I think that's good. All right. I think that's it for this week. Z fighting, your favorite. Indeed. All right. I guess I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one. And thanks for tuning in, as always.